And now I give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Kyriakos Pierakakis, Minister for Education, Religious Affairs and Sports of Greece. You have the floor, Minister.
Thank you so much, Madam President of the General Conference, Madam Director General, Excellencies. An interdependent world necessitates interdependent initiatives, global initiatives transcending borders. In this spirit, UNESCO's Transforming Education Summit has rightly brought education to the forefront of the global political agenda. Greece has been actively engaged in the implementation of the United Nations SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, as an horizontal policy within our education policy agenda. And in this regard, we have extended compulsory pre-education from the age of 4, and we're fostering a shift from a knowledge-centered model to a skills-based approach, empowering individuals to learn how to learn, especially as technology accelerates. We place a special emphasis on digital transformation. We spent the last 4 years digitizing our public service, and obviously education policy is a core component of this digitization. We have assumed a leadership role together with Singapore with respect to Action Track 4, focusing on digital learning and transformation, and we're actively promoting the creation of digital content to be integrated into the new school curricula and the relevant technological equipment. Of course, now is the age of AI, which will change all policy agendas. It will affect all policy agendas. And in this regard, our Prime Minister, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, has established a high-level advisory committee of AI. And the goal is to set the ground for the developments of this technology in the direction of participatory resilience, competitiveness, sustainable development, and prosperity. We highly value UNESCO's role in the elaboration of the relevant legal and ethical framework of artificial intelligence created by humans for humans. We focus a lot on vocational education and training, establishing new governance and educational structures, and we're committed to further upgrade VET with the introduction of a new bill that will seek to foster synergies among VET factors and infrastructures, ensuring that what students learn corresponds and will be directly linked to the evolving needs of today's society. Concerning higher education, Greece has adopted an extroverted approach and has established a network of Greek HEIs for sustainable development. Greece runs no less than 17 UNESCO university chairs, dealing with a variety of subjects ranging from human rights to geoparks, sustainable development, and cultural heritage, indicative of the vivid interest of Greek academics towards universal goals on learning. And we're currently advancing a new institutional framework through which we invite all major universities across the world to establish chapters in Greece and collaborate with our Greek public universities. At the level of primary education, we take immense pride in being steward of one of UNESCO's most significant and long-standing networks, ASP.NET, celebrating this year its 70th anniversary. In pursuit of the ideals of UNESCO, human rights and dignity, gender equality, social progress, freedom, justice and democracy, respect for diversity and international solidarity. At the 42nd General Conference, in light of evolving global threats, including conflict and terrorism, climate change, global risks to public health, Greece stands as a firm advocate for the revision of the 1974 recommendation concerning education for international understanding, cooperation, and peace and education relating to human rights and fundamental freedoms. This conviction arises from our belief that these revisions complement our ongoing efforts to promote greater international understanding, cooperation, and peace through UNESCO's vital work with communities across the world. Furthermore, as a member of the World Cultural Heritage Committee and the UNESCO Committee for the Protection of Cultural Property in the event of armed conflict, Greece is actively involved in promoting UNESCO's goals and priorities. We aim to aligning our policies with the United Nations Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, particularly with regards to cultural heritage preservation from climate change. This notably applies to the monuments and sites of the World Heritage Lists, from which management plans are implemented by the Greek Ministry of Culture, according to the guidelines of the Convention. After the successful nomination of Zagori Cultural Landscape into the World Heritage List, Greece is in the process of preparing new nominations, taking into account the global strategy for a representative, balanced, and credible World Heritage List. We are also supporting the work of the Return and Restitution Intergovernmental Committee. I would like to remind that with regards to the reunification of the Parthenon sculptures, a matter of high national importance to Greece, the committee called the United Kingdom to reconsider its position and enter into a bona fide dialogue with our country. On multiple occasions, we have proposed workable solutions, such as in the case of the Fagan fragment, a fragment of the Parthenon sculptures returned by the Antonino Salinas Museum of Palermo. Finally, in view of the forthcoming Olympics that will take place here in Paris, as the country where the Olympic Games and the Olympic spirit were born, we have co-sponsored, together with France and Portugal, the draft resolution Olympic and Paralympic movements as the catalyst of UNESCO values through sport, education and development, to be adopted by the 42nd General Conference, putting forward the idea of the Olympic truce. The Olympic truce, ekechiria in Greek, which historically has been the cessation of hostilities 7 days before and 7 days after the Olympic Games, was to replace the cycle of conflict with a friendly athletic competition every 4 years. During the cessation of hostilities, athletes, artists, and spectators were allowed to travel to Olympia, participate in the Olympic Games, and return to their homeland in safety. In our world today, torn by war and conflict, the meaning of the Olympic truce, ekechiria, stands more relevant than ever. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Minister.